When I was 17, it was wartime. I was born in 1924. So my mum said, "Why do you want to go to the Air Force?" And I said, "Because it's got blue uniform." She said to me, "Well, before you go, you better read this." So I thought my name was Flora Cook. Well, it's not, it's Flora McLennan. And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She said, "Well, we adopted you when you were 11 months. Well, you're 17. I get called up, well, gone to Air Force. Now, I have never in my life slept in a room with anybody. 20 girls and myself in a Nissan hut. And I'm crying because I want to go home. But I didn't want to let anybody know I was crying, you know. I pulled the pillow over my head. And somebody said, "Who's that baby up there?" So all of a sudden, I tried very hard all night. I'm lying attention, trying to keep myself quiet. But I got up and I suddenly realized, I don't want to be here. But you've signed. I thought, okay, I was 17. I thought, the war will be over in a year anyway.
Oh.
But 4 years later, I got out. But by that time, you've changed a lot, you know. You're a little more secure, and I thought to myself, you know, I think I'd like to travel, you know. I said to my mum, "I am going to Canada." She said, "Yes." "Well, you made up your mind." Well, anyway, off I went. I kind of put everything behind me because it's a new world I'm in, and people didn't know my background or anything like that. At least I didn't think they did. I met Henry, my husband, here, and now I've got 4 children. So my daughter said, "Yeah." Anytime they spoke of adoption, I got kind of nervous. I wouldn't talk about it. So she said to me one day, "Would you like to find your mother?" Because, I mean, everybody I knew were much taller than me. All my cousins were blonde and tall, and I'm the wee sturdy one. So anyway, she wrote to the company, and I get a picture. And I looked at the picture, and it was like me at 17, anyway. I mean, we're not identical, but so much alike when you put the 2 pictures together. Her picture, and I've got when I immigrated to Canada, and then the family that they got in touch with wrote to Janet, my daughter. He gave Janet the phone number. He said, "At a certain time of day, ask your mother to call." Well, I called, and he said, "This is Alex." And I said, "Well, I don't know what to say." He told me about his sisters, and they had a family conference before they got in touch with me, you know. Well, just today I received that, because I was a little skeptical of saying anything because it's a sort of private life. But all of a sudden, when I was down to tell you that I wasn't coming, I got a letter from Scotland, and it says, "Wishing you all the best from Bonnie, Scotland. Long may your Lumreek." Well, when they say that, that means long may you have coal to burn in your fire. Much love from all of your second family in Scotland. Now, I mean, I'm 93, going to be 94 in February. To suddenly have all the answers, all the questions answered. And I think to myself, I'm such a fortunate person because I told him, be rest assured, I wished I'd been able to speak to the actual mother to tell her that was the greatest gift she ever gave me, was giving me up, because I had a wonderful family and a great upbringing. And I was only going to come and tell you this morning, I think it's rather private, I should, when this letter arrived, and I thought, you know what, to find a family, and they're wanting me to be in touch, and he calls me Auntie Flora. I got the shock of my life when I opened it this morning. That music is great. You don't need to follow. So gracious me. I can't believe it. You come and sit down, Sarah.
Mommy, this is
Oh,
well.
here. Well, I didn't like it. I mean, and you brought it.
Oh, I went to meet you. I said, what are you going to do if she doesn't like you?
I gotta not like you.
Well.
Do I look like my mother?
Do you look like your mother? Yes, you do.
I just wanted
Mother, yes.
Yeah, but I only got a picture of her a short time ago. And you sent a picture. You know, I've raised an only child all my life, and you can ask him parents any questions. She said, it's none of your business. Well, of course it is.
Of course it's business.
But that was my mum, and my dad's 6'1" and she's 5'10", and that wee flow. But you know what? It's all worked out wonderful because Alec had a good life, I had a good life, and we've got each other now. You're never too old to have wonderful things happen to you, because both of us are a wee bit older. I mean, at this age especially, you know, and I think myself, and I wondered what he was like, you know, and then when they said they were coming, and what if they don't like me? Janet said, Mum, if you just be yourself, that's all you can be. So, you know, I used to watch all the kids going home with 5 or 6 brothers and sisters, and I was always coming in empty. Well, I had my own bedroom, and they thought I was lucky, and I thought they were lucky. We're never happy with what we've got. I mean, when we met, I felt that I'd known him all my life.
Yeah.
And although it's not like my son, certain expressions come on, I see in my son. I like go to sort of, I must be like my mother in some ways, like certain things. But
You are, definitely.
That's your
That's
mom.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's you.
and I got forever living. Me, when I saw that
Very
picture,
handsome, very handsome.
I thought, my God,
Look at the resemblance.
very much a hairdo, and it's the first time I ever let him look like me. So, what a picture I got.